Let's look at how content operations produces value for authors, business stakeholders, and others that deal with content every day within an organization. It helps when there's a team actively doing air traffic control for content. Can you imagine flying thousands of planes across vast airspaces and through ground traffic across hundreds of airports without that invisible support? It's necessary, and content operations provides cover for each initiative and content project, monitors adherence, helps the content supply chain flow, and addresses the stuck points. Ops uses standards to improve quality and support and extend strategy. We're going to look at 5 value drivers for Ops. 1. Speed up publishing velocity and volume. 2. Make content strategy and standards real. 3. Expand team agility and responsiveness. 4. Facilitate the discovery, integration, and reuse of content assets across teams. 5. Scale capabilities while embracing the ever-present change. Jump into speeding up publishing velocity and volume. Content feels like it should be easy. Everyone writes, right? And that's true if we just need a static artifact published in one place, if it never changes and it just sits somewhere. But content isn't like that nowadays. Content has to do so much more, in so many places, for so many different kinds of audiences. Content operations empowers various content teams to communicate and collaborate with ease. Shared workflows, integrated tools, and standard procedures come together to help content creation go a much further distance with the same resources deployed. The goal is to increase flow and throughput while decreasing friction throughout the content supply chain. Having a function chartered to improve the workflow results in faster content creation and management, more standards adherence, fewer breakdowns, faster fixes, more communication, higher quality. So with content ops, there's more velocity for modular content assets across the content supply chain, and all of that allows more volume to be produced. Ops multiplies everyone's efforts. Next, Ops helps ensure adherence to strategy, quality, and standards. Historically, most organizations think that having content strategy involved will be enough to improve content workflows. Not so. Content is in a constant state of creation and motion and transformation. It takes operations to work on an ongoing basis in the details every day, and to have it work together with strategy and engineering. Operations works with the authoring groups to make sure that content strategies get carried out. Content strategy is often meant to craft content that meets audience goals. But if a strategy sits on a shelf, did it ever exist? It's about the fulfillment of the strategy. Putting content strategy into daily action is what really matters for value creation. Often, strategists miss getting to see their hard work reflected due to the lack of operational follow-through. Ops makes authors look good, managers look good, and strategists look good. And it frees content strategy to focus on executing the organization's bigger picture goals. Defining standard workflow stages and structure ensures higher levels of quality assurance. Content operations can build in regulatory and compliance items into authoring templates. Ops patterns also include monitoring content workflows throughout the various stages, including compliance, making sure that specific content items don't get stuck in workflow stages. Stuck in legal, translation needs something changed, why is this review status pending for more than 3 days? All of these kinds of things need attention. And if content expires or needs refreshing, who notices that? Who manages those maintenance rhythms? Who is monitoring the guidelines set up by strategy? That's right, ops. Let's talk agility. Things don't always go as planned with content. We all know that too well. Sometimes projects hit blockers or dramatically need to shift in focus or design. Content operations can play a role supporting authoring teams who are struggling incorporating new messaging directions, needing to adapt new elements for new templates, or pivot due to the shifting priorities. Content operations is the team that authors can contact to report hurdles and work with them to remove and address them. And that all increases agility and responsiveness by enhancing the connections between people and the stages of content creation. Content operations allows for teams to quickly respond and better meet customer expectations. And they all work uniquely in each organization to create and implement the custom solution that works best for each group. As we've touched on in other episodes, the sheer volume of content creation continues to grow exponentially. Existing teams and processes just can't keep up. Content originates in so many places and has to go to so many channels in so many forms. To some degree, everyone is a member of the customer experience team, as sales and marketing content, product documentation, support, technical assets, and so many more content categories are reviewed by customers throughout the whole customer lifecycle, used to drive all the value underpinning an enterprise. And with more and more teams contributing to content creation procedures, content operations facilitates discovery, integration, and reuse of content assets and modular content elements across teams. Working toward an integrated, shared content supply chain, the CSO, with ops driving daily publishing functions, is the glue helping to connect the pieces and parts. There's a convergence that's been starting to happen, integrating omni-channel processes across functional teams. So content doesn't just happen at the team level, but more and more it's happening at the department and cross-department, cross-organizational level. Originating departments, authoring groups, and content transaction points need to develop into a cohesive content supply chain. This facilitates building content from various places that is unified in message, structure, and semantic tags. So wherever it comes from, it shares the same fundamental characteristics that makes it portable and matches into all those presentation templates in all those different channels. This leads to better customer experiences across every interaction point. Having conflicting content throughout a customer journey leads to customer frustration and loss of retention. Content operations helps to address this whole problem across the spectrum at the source. Without placing important investments into a dedicated content operations function, scaling introduces team and tool bloat. And bloat and system redundancy constricts content workflows and does a real number on team satisfaction. Scaling against defined standards and patterns with integrated tooling chains totally changes the game. All of a sudden, everyone is working off the same structure, the same semantics, and the same operational patterns that are being orchestrated by content operations. Having services-based systems that pass standards-based content between them empowers both the corporate center and the producers in the departments. Content operations provides immense return on investment by allowing teams to specialize and collaborate with more capabilities with a lot less latency, producing more with less overall investment. Content operations ensures that each team, person, role, system, all of it, are performing at their best, and that each part is contributing to a supply chain that is optimized and more effective than they could be without operations. Sadly, today this function is rarely funded, and responsibilities for process and workflow management get divided among different departments and roles. In order to progress, we have to stop letting content just happen by accident. Content operations must be a deliberate, chartered function within every enterprise in order to deliver next-generation experiences. I hope this episode has provided you some valuable insight into content operations, why it matters to enterprise publishers, and how it fits into the larger picture. We'd love to hear from you. Visit us on simpleA.com. For more information on all of these organizational improvements to deliver intelligent customer experiences, consider subscribing. Please like and share this video if you found it useful. Be sure to view the description below for links to related resources. And until we meet again, let's take one step at a time towards a smarter world.